Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For today, I want to tell you about novel Robinson Crusoe. Maybe we're gonna start from chapter 1 until chapter 10. Start from chapter 1. The chapter 1 begins with Robinson Crusoe recounting his early years. He was born into a respectable family in New York, England, and was the youngest of several children. Despite his father's desire for him to pursue a career in law, Crusoe's adventurous spirit led him to dream of a life at sea. Against his father's wishes, he finally embarked on a sea voyage. Initially, Crusoe enjoyed the excitement and challenge of life at sea. He becomes involved in trading and travels to Africa. However, his journey takes a drastic turn when his ship is attacked by Moorish pirates of the coast of Africa. He and the crew are captured and taken as prisoners. Cruz manages to escape and find refuge with a Portuguese captain for a time. Despite the dangers, Cruz's thirst for adventures remained undiminished. He embarks on another sea voyage, hoping for better fortune. However, a violent storm strikes the ship, causing it to be wrecked. Cruz is stranded on a desert island far from civilization. Chapter 1 establishes Cruz's character as adventurous and independent minded, willing to defy societal expectation in pursuit of his dreams. It set the stage for the survival tale that unfold at Cruise the challenge of isolation and strives to build a new life on uninhabited island. Okay, next about the chapter 2. After the shipwreck, Robinson Crusoe found himself was ashore on a small, uninhabited island. He is the sole survivor among the crew and salvaged supplies and tools from the wrecked ship, including some food, weapons, and other necessities. Cruz reflects on his situation and realizes the enormity of his predicament. He is stranded far from any human settlement with no immediate hope of rescue. Cruz began exploring the island, searching for a suitable place to set up shelter. He decided on a location near a freshwater stream, where he built a makeshift camp using salvage material. He set up basic living arrangement, gathering food and water, and start to adapt to his new life of solitude. As they turn into weeks, Cruz resourcefulness and survival skills are put to the test. He learns to make use of natural research on the island, such as hunting goat from meat and using goat skin for clothing. He constructs more permanent structure, including a larger shelter and storage areas for his provisions. Despite the challenge and occasional loneliness, Cruz maintained a sense of hope and determination. He reflects on his past decision and contemplates his future on the island, while also grappling with his faith and spirituality in this isolated setting. Chapter 2 showcases Cruz's relations and adeptly as a begin to establish a routine and gradually accept his fate as a castaway. It set the stage from the solitary excitance and survival adventures that define his life on the island in the chapter to come. Okay, in the chapter 2, Robinson Crusoe wakes up on the beach after the shipwreck and assesses his situation. He realizes he is the only survivor and begins salvaging supplies from the wrecked ship, including tools, weapons, clothing, and food. He also collects items that could be useful for survival, such as a chest of tools, carpenter's tools, and other necessary items. Cruz explored the island to find a suitable place to set up his camp. He chooses a spot near a freshwater stream and set to work building shelter using salvaged materials and natural research. Over time, he improved his shelter, creating more compatible living quarters and storage space for his supplies. As Cruz settles into his new life, he faces various challenges and learns to adapt. He hunts God for food and uses their skin for clothing. He gathers fruits, grains, and roots to supplement his diet. He also learns to make pottery and other necessary items using the resources available on the island. Through the chapter 3, Cruz reflects on his situation and grapples with the emotional and psychological impact for his isolation. He experienced moments of despair and loneliness, but also finds solace in his faith and determination to survive. He keeps a journal where he records his thoughts, feelings, and daily activities, which serve as a means of maintaining his sanity and sense of purpose. Okay, next, chapter 4. In the chapter 4 of Robinson Crusoe tells the story of Robinson's life after he managed to survive on the island for some time. Robinson began to feel more comfortable with his situation and used his skill and knowledge to make his life better. He built a more permanent residence, managed his daily time better, and begins exploring the island to find better natural research. In these chapters, Robinson also considers his spiritual state, pondering how he managed to survive alone on the island and confronting his profound loneliness. He begins a journey to rebuild his life with what is around him, while still hoping for a chance to return to the world he left behind. Next, chapter 5. In the chapter 5, Robinson Crusoe has been on a ship for several years and explored the seas. He tells about some of the adventures he experienced, including sea battle and storm that threatened their life. Robinson Crusoe also tells about the harsh life of a seaman, the hardships of a sailor that is. During this journey, Cruz begins to question his previously reckless life and thinks about the deeper purpose of life. Despite this, he still felt heavy and enthusiastic about facing the challenge at sea. At the end of chapter 5, Robinson Crusoe ship sails for Guinea to collect new cargo, and Cruise is enthusiastic about the future prospect that await him there. Okay, now for the chapter 6. In the chapter 6, Robinson Crusoe is still on a ship that is on its way to Guinea. He tells about daily life on a ship, the sailor's routine, and his feelings of increasing interest in adventure. Cruz also considered his decision to go to sea and ponder his uncertain fate on the high seas. He felt compelled to become more involved in ship life. Even though in his heart of hearts he felt uncertainty and worry about his future. Besides that, in this chapter, Cruz also described how he began to learn the survival skills necessary to be a good sailor, such as navigation, the use of navigation tools, and survival skill at sea. Next, chapter 7. In the chapter 7, Robinson Crusoe and his crew encountered bad weather that led to a violent storm at sea. The storm hit their ship hard, and Crusoe and the other sailors struggled to keep the ship in track and overcome the challenge ahead. During the storm, Cruz felt how fragile life in the sea is and how small humans are in the face of raging nature. He described in detail how they tried to secure the ship, control the sails, and keep it from sinking amid hook waves and strong winds. Cruz also shows resilience and courage in facing these dangers, as well as a feeling of gratitude when the storm finally subsides and the ship manages to survive. This is an important experience to Cruz, which further strengthens his character and sharpens his understanding of the challenge of life at sea. Apart from that, these chapters also highlight the relation between crews and the rest of the ship's crew, where they depend on each other and work together to face difficult situations. This show that solidarity and togetherness in the life of sailor at the time. Next, in the chapter 8, the story continues after the violent storm that Robinson Crusoe and his crew encounter in the very first chapter. After the storm subsided, the ship they were on continued in its journey toward Guinea. In these chapters, Cruz tells about daily life on a ship after experiencing a storm. They were facing better weather and trying to recover from the shocking incident. Cruz also noticed change in the mood and spirit of the ship crews, who were initially shocked and afraid during the storm, but are now calmer and eager to welcome better days. During this journey, Cruz also further honed his skill as a sailor. He learned more about navigation, observed the stars at night, and continued to defend his knowledge of life at sea. Personally, Cruz began to reflect on the meaning of the life experience he has experienced. He begins to question his life's journey and search for a deeper meaning to all the adventure and challenge he faced at sea. Next, chapter 9. In chapter 9, Robinson Crusoe and his crew continue their journey toward Guinea. In this chapter, Crusoe tells about the interaction and dynamic between ship's crew as well as their daily activity on the ship. Cruz shows his growing enthusiasm for learning and understanding ship life. He continued to learn navigation, ship management, and other skills necessary as a sailor. During this journey, Cruz also gets to know several of the other ship crew members. He tells about interesting character and their various conversation and experience together at sea. Apart from that, this chapter also highlights Cruz's relation with the ship captain. Cruz respects the captain as a leader and tries to learn a lot from him about ship management and life at sea. At the end of chapter 9, they reach the coast of Guinea and begin their intended trading activities there. This marked the end of their long journey across the sea full of challenge. Okay, next for the chapter 10. In the chapter 10, Robinson Crusoe and his crew are on the coast of Guinea crying out trade. Here, crews tell about their trading activities, interact with local residents, and record various details about life and the African mainland at the time. Cruz and his crew engaged in the process of buying goods to trade, such as slaves, gold, and other trade goods they deemed valuable. They also try to establish good relations with local residents and explore the surrounding area in search for better trading opportunities. During his stay in Guinea, Cruz also tells about his observation and experience with the local environment and culture. He recorded the daily lives of the residents, their beliefs, and a way of life that was different from the European custom he was used to. This chapter shows the adventures and trading side of Cruz's life beyond the sea, as well as how he continues to learn and adapt to new environment and situation. This also shows Cruz's open view of cultural diversity, and the experience of living in place he has never visited before. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I say thanks for your attention. Sekian, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.